Hello, hello, YouTube. I just want to bring you my day number 5 build update of the Erica 2 build. We're starting to get pretty fucking noomy. We have 316% movement speed in the setup right now. I did do some pretty substantial upgrades yesterday. I didn't farm that much FE, but like the upgrades I actually did were like very, very substantial. So in my mapping setup, we're at like about 4 to 5 trillion right now, which is pretty fucking good. This is literally with me running Fellowship, which is a damage loss, Swiftness, which is a massive damage loss, and Preserver of Eternity, which is a ginormous damage loss. And yeah, okay, that's sort of what I did yesterday. So the first thing I did is I did get a prairie. I made some decisions with the slates, and I'm pretty happy with what I did. So this slate, we have got additional damage against curse enemies, +2 all, and then +2 persistent skill. I specifically wanted persistent skill because it's just, the 70% effect running it up to +2 just makes it significantly better than any other mod. Plus levels are just the best you can do this season. And my Nether King, I hit the curse, the paralyze, so I don't need the paralyze anymore. And then for this first slate, I have damage transfer and then damage mod. For the second slate, I have elixir skill effect, which is very big. Like, this 34% elixir skill effect is more like 70%. This took me from about 430 to 500% elixir effect. And then just paralyze effect. I have sealed mana, which was very important for the build, and I'll get to that in a tiny bit. And then additional sentry damage. And then lastly, I just have a generic Fallen Starlight for some max 20s we need it. Elixir skills gain charging progress. We need this 2.5 to be able to have 100% uptime on our elixirs in boss fights. And then focus blessings when we deal damage to frostbite target, because I don't actually have the spare points to like invest it into profit, because I need profit for all my sealed mana. You might be noticing I do have Ranger now. We did swap off of Lich, and despite the fact that I have Ranger, I'm still able to seal ×4 50% aura. So we have Steadfast, Precise Projectiles, Frigid Domain, and Weapon Amplification. And the reason for that being is basically all you need to do is you need to get your sealed mana to 90%. And then you can seal all three. 90% while having +2 all, because you need the restrain levels then. I get 20%, 26% for my gear. I get 42% for my talents, and then 25% for my divinity slates. I also, had to roll Goddess of Deception with sealed mana to get another 5%. And I would suggest on your Vorax to actually get sealed mana here. I ended up not getting that, but, that is fine. Beggars can't be choosers. And then on top of all of that, I also did buy myself a new Dev's Touch. It was about 4 KFE. Because I specifically wanted one with this mod, attack and spell crit rating, instead of the fixed crit rating. Because that actually allows me to grab this attack and critical strike rating gear for this gear. Which, with this mod, I was able to actually drop my hero memory. So I used to have a hero memory that with like crit against frostbitten enemies, which is very, very good, very powerful. But this basic manuscript thing here is absolutely absurd on Sage. Not only does this increase my scat spore damage by a significant amount, it's like 34% more damage versus not having it. It also allows me to cap out my damage transfer from Resilient Moss. So Resilient Moss is capped out, it gives me 60% damage transfer. And now, from our understanding of the wording of damage transfer, you can have up to 9% damage transfer, but one source can only give you 60%. So we get 60% damage transfer from Resilient Moss. We get 5.9% from this mod, from the short burden, and we are getting 13% from the slate mod, for a grand total of, I think it was like 79% damage transfer. So that's pretty fucking good. And on top of having 79% damage transfer, we also have some armor, because we're using Steadfast. We have 62% mitigation for fist damage, and 37% for elemental, which is fine, because, you have 60 res. Except for erosion. I need to fix my erosion, but, erosion res is fake out of the way. You don't need it in this game. We do a quick map showcase while we continue to yap. So yesterday I was just trying out some like 100 FE investment per map compass cogs farming. I don't really like it as much as just doing hunting. Hunting has been absolutely amazing for me. I do plan on making a strat guide for hunting. Maybe we'll see exactly when we get it out. I want to do a bit more testing of hunting and just figure out like what is the best setup. Maybe I'll actually just push the deep space first. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but we have killed SS20 already. We are well over damage cap, you know, SS20 is dead. And that's SS20 dead with a tier 2 belt and tier 1 rings. Now, I do have some T0 mods on my bow. The reason for that is quite simple. I was doing the challenges. I'm not even joking. There's like challenges for like using sacred fossils. And then if you use the sacred fossils, you get drop quant. I literally was just using my sacred fossils just to finish the challenges and just happened to hit some upgrades. Which is pretty fucking cool. I do suggest if you have a bow though. Oh, I didn't do the leg mechanic. I forgot. Oopsie. Normally you would do the leg mechanic, but whatever. I did actually wanted to mention, getting this mod T0 is pretty high value. Like, this is a very, very high value mod. It gives an absurd amount of damage for basic mode. Because, you know, you are playing a Death's Touch build. Every single bit of damage you get on your bow is first damage for your Death's Touch. So, that is something definitely worth considering to go for. And with me having like this attack gear crit strike rating, which literally like yesterday when I was doing SS20, I was like, oh, let me just, what's some easy damage I can quickly get? I had like 1.5 or like I had like 1 KFE on me or like 1.2 KFE on me. And I was like, oh, let me just quickly, you know, send the upgrade onto this weapon. Because I had, you know, some sacred fossils. And we happened to hit it. And then I just changed around my kismets. I changed to some crit kismets. These were like 10 FE each. Those lightning res. Some crit kismets. And just doing that took me from like 50% crit rating to 90%. Which made my damage way more consistent at 15 trillion. Which, that was like, just, you know, very, very easy damage. As for tankiness, I mean, if I can... I hope to be able to showcase this in the video, but... You know the Watcher Breath, like the Glacier Watcher Breath? I can stand completely AFK in that breath. It does not kill me, it does not hurt me, I don't even lose life. My health does not drop below 95%. Like if you look at the health bar of a Sage, there's gonna be two colors. There's gonna be like a grayed out color, and then a slightly more grayed out color. The slightly more grayed out color is like your actual life bar. And then the gray health is just like your injury buffer. Just damage you're gonna be taking. So this is injury buffer, and then that tiny amount there is like my actual health bar. And even with like that, I've just been... I can just fully AFK the Watcher Breath, it just doesn't do anything to me. My character is just like absolutely very, very tanky. Although I do feel like the Watcher Breath is kind of nerfed. I don't think it used to do this little damage. I feel like it should be doing more damage to me. Maybe that was in the patch notes that they nerfed it. So hopefully I'll be able to showcase this in this map. Those are the main things that I did yesterday. I mean, if you want to be like very realistic about like upgrade paths and stuff, so the year of memory revival is actually a fairly substantial one for tankiness. But if you want to do Supreme Showdown 20, it doesn't actually do anything, you know, because that fight is made in such a way that you can just no-hit it. Like, I think it's one of the most no-hittable like fights in all of the Supreme Showdown 20s. And we've had fights before that people no-hit it. Okay, here we go, watch your breath. So I'm just gonna let her hit me. As you can see, that just doesn't do damage to me. I don't know. It actually just does nothing. I am so fucking tanky. Now, part of the reason I stopped to this strat over the Hunting Safari is because I wanted to level up, because Hunting Safari is very rippy. I am 99% confident that I can go back to Hunting Safari, because I will just not even die. The Hunting Safari will actually just do nothing to me. Nothing can kill me. I mean, I can literally go into like Deep Space right now and do Deep Space without immunities. I've tried it, and I face tank the Deep Space immunities. I can have Scorch on me, I can have maim on me, all of these things, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just face tanking it all. Lastly, I did want to quickly show this. This is me just killing the SS20. It does have audio on my Discord, but I, don't have my OBS set up right now, so I can have the audio recorded to that. But I unfortunately did kill the fight off stream, so I think what I'm going to do is I will be killing it again on stream today, as well as killing SS21, and then I'll upload both of those just back to back. The fight is pretty reliable to do, and like SS21 is going to be very easy to do, because we've done it before. Very, very awesome fight, though. It is going to be spoilers to watch that video. I do actually suggest like doing the fight blind. I think it's very fun. But at the same time, I do want people to watch my videos. So, up to you. Bye-bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.